Welcome to another episode of Roll or Die. Today we have for you the head coach of Gracie Elite Central Coast. His name is Tiago Ferreira. This is the first time Anton and I have kind of met him, so we're really looking forward to getting to know him and all our listeners. And welcome, Tiago.
It's good to be here. Thanks for the opportunity, guys. Always good to share about, jiu-jitsu, my life. I started jiu-jitsu with 12 years old.
Wow.
And so it's been 30 years nearly.
Wow.
Doing what we all love, sharing my life, my whole life. I don't know what would be myself without jiu-jitsu or what I would.
Yeah.
I will be accountant. I graduating accountant, but I think as accountant, numbers is a lot to do with jiu-jitsu, with problems and angles. So I think that's why I was able to, finish my accountant degree. In Brazil, that's a part of like a Brazilian family. You wanna like always graduate in something, like I actually learned was a big thing for me when I was maybe 14. I went to Hollis Gracie's Junior, the son of Hollis Gracie, the one that they used to be the best in the family. Ross Gracie, they used to call him. And his mom, I remember we was going to do something, and his mom was fighting with his young brother Gregor, and say if your dad survived from the paraglide accident, then that's how he actually passed away. Hollis flying a really bad day in Rio de Janeiro with his paraglide.
Wow.
And I was not supposed to fly, but like you Gracies are very, very hard on. So, and I remember
tell him what to do. Yeah.
if your dad survived from the accident, he would be able to keep working, because if you he will not be able to fight anymore because you'll probably be in a wheelchair. But he will be able to, use his brain, and that always got my mind, and always sort of like not only there, but as you need to grading something back home, just to make sure you if you have a backup, especially, I was able to manage, so I was able to train in lunchtime and sometimes nighttime. Afternoon before even school. I had a part of my life I trained twice a day, from maybe 12 to about 19. I was every day until I start to actually going to university and life gets a bit more busy. I was like twice with Hilon Gracie when he used to live still at my city, Florianopolis, where I grew up. And actually, I had the opportunity to train with two Gracies at the time. Crawling Gracie was his brother. So it was Crawling and Helion. They started gym together. And then after they split because they moved to different areas in the city. So each one had a gym. So I stayed with Helion. Until Helion actually moved to Miami, where he is today. I think he moved actually to another city in Brazil, and then he went to Miami. But I trained his brother after that to my black belt. Until actually I moved to Australia and then start to train with Holler for 12 years as well.
So
Awesome.
what brought you to Australia? Why Australia?
To tell the truth, I want to have a break from my life back home for many different reasons. I actually come to Australia for 6 months, and then I actually fall in love with the country, with the people, and everything. Like how you guys are more relaxed with things. Brazil,
More relaxed than Brazil, you think?
Brazil is just different. Brazil is more like people take like more like a party thing, Here it's a different like lifestyle is good, like it's good place to raise your kids, you know.
Mm.
And that's what I noticed. And the women in here, Brazilian women was very possessive and very like take over your life basically. So when I met actually my wife today, she's really like um, just made me realize, and even the woman was a bit more like independent too of themselves. They don't need so much men to do things. And this thing about boys time is important, so they respect that thing. And I'm a surf as well. I love my surfboard and travel and surf. So she
Amazing.
respect that. She respect the side of I come actually from an island in Brazil, 42 beaches. Amazing to like even jiu-jitsu, the best jiu-jitsu, everyone wanna live in there. The surfers and so I was very lucky actually when I was 12. I was doing actually Taekwondo, and then the Taekwondo instructor say, "Oh, let's watch the first UFC," and I have a tape in here and whatever. Like I don't remember how he did show us, but he didn't know what was going on, and he was sure. I think it was Smith, like this Taekwondo guy, like, and he was on the one of the first ones. Smith, forgot his first name, but I remember how he Gracie clean up, and I was like, what's this
With this
jiu-jitsu, you know?
jiu-jitsu stuff, yeah.
And then we're looking for me and my friends, we like try find, and we end up actually finding a gym like around the corner from my house, and was Hilo and crawling together. So I was like,
Wow.
wow, this is like, you know, the sons of the from Carlos actually. So Carlos Gracie has like 4 kids, like really, or 5, and Carlos Jr., and then Crawling Gracie and Hilon Gracie. And I think even Henzo, I think is brothers of them. I don't lost a little bit the track of the family,
There's
but
a lot of Gracies, man, so you can be forgiven.
yeah, but I was really lucky actually because I ended up training with Roger for a while, and because Roger used to go to different uh, part of the family for different brothers to learn the jiu-jitsu, and he actually lived in my city for a year training with my 2 coaches on the time, Hilo and Crowley. So it was really good to haze with him, and not only him but other ones like Hollis. Many of the Gracies come to those coaches for like 6 to 8, 7 months to learn a little bit about, and then move to another Gracie, and then move to another. So like it was pretty interesting to see as well, and actually get raised by those guys, and be around those guys, and you know, like the way of like you eat, what you eat and what you do, and even what you do outside your life reflects into your personal life, into how you make your money, you know, making money,
Absolutely.
actually doing something good for people more than just like. So Gracie was really strong on that side. It was really cool for me to learn that, because I'm trying actually pass these days to my kids, and how much actually guide me, because I was actually overweight when I started jiu-jitsu, and I used to get bullied all the time too, and I even used to take my t-shirt on the beach because I was so embarrassed of my body, and that made me like, and actually after 3 months, like, and healing was just eat this, eat that, and in training. So I was like living on the gym. I was like,
Yeah.
want to hear the look at the guy every day and what he gonna tell me nice today, because he only tell you nice things, you know, and that's like you learn when you haze like that. You kind of try be there a bit too for the people around you, and for your family, for your kids, for your students. it's hard in these days because life is very like challenged sometimes, and but it's about mindset, and make sure you like overcome those thoughts of weakness, and just make yourself always ready
Sure.
to teach a class as well, because it's different to teach a movement. Everyone can teach a movement, people learn on YouTube these days, like, but I mean, to really make a good class to your students and pass your energy and make sure they are like they're happy after, they're happy because they had a good time, not only a good jiu-jitsu time, man.
Yeah. So
And I think that
after, oh, sorry. Okay.
counts a sorry,
Yeah.
that counts a lot into like, I'm grateful to have the experience in my life as well with the Gracies, and I was able to, like believe in jiu-jitsu, and actually not many people did. That was in 1992, and
Wow. That
and,
far
and
back. Yeah. You don't look old enough to have been. Yeah.
yeah, nah, thanks to jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
like we live a good life. Lifestyle is everything.
Yeah. So can I ask, like when you were younger, as you said, you were bullied, then you got involved with the Gracie family. They were known as fighters. You know what I mean? Like they loved to go and test their jiu-jitsu, encourage people to come into their gym and fight. After you kind of got your confidence and you were building up your skills, did you become a bully? Did you, like, what happened to
Nah,
you?
nah,
Yeah.
nah, nah. No, I become a fighter actually because I actually was the first one to do MMA back home in my city.
Right.
So I was really like I was in competition the first 3 months of jiu-jitsu. I started to compete, and I always did a little bit, to tell the truth, into like taekwondo and all those other things. Then I did karate and kung fu. But actually, I used to be bullied even by the teachers in actually in
Really?
karate. Yeah, yeah. I actually had a funny story about this guy. He used to call me like we should have this milkshake in little box
Yeah, cool.
like those fruit juice.
Yeah.
So he
Or
used
like
to
a big
call me
M?
that,
Like a big M?
like something like that, like a milkshaking. You shake like a up and go, but I was
Oh
Okay.
doing
yeah.
milkshakes
Yeah.
then. And the guy used to call me that name into class, and I was to like just I was maybe 10, I used to just
Little
hate it.
milkshake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And I was like, oh man, these
yeah.
guys. But I should be really persistent too, besides, and like, So I was like, nah, I'm gonna. So this guy actually, when I was in jiu-jitsu, maybe 17, I was one of the like 3 years, and I used to train twice a day sometimes. I used to compete every nearly second 3 months. I actually, my best friends come from jiu-jitsu. It was 10 of us and grade for black belt together, and we could travel around Brazil and competing Brazilians and anything in Brazil. We was there to get the prices after a while, because they should give you like, so we was not so wealthy, so we had to kind of really grind into the process. But back to the story about this guy, he actually turned up to the gym to learn jiu-jitsu, this instructor, karate instructor. And I remember him like I was getting bullied the same day. And then actually I come and comment to my coach, and I say, oh, remember when I said that I had this coach that used to bully me? This is the coach.
Oh,
So he said to me, don't do anything today. Let's get him hooked up. And then when he's on the gym, you're gonna bash him. And then after you remind him, you say, remember that kid then you used to bully, now he grow up. I'm the
Yeah.
kid and I'm always gonna choke you out. So like and how I'm gonna say, that was the Gracie they used to like not actually give you the fish, they should teach you how to fish, yourself. So don't go there and eat straight away. Don't go, because you're not gonna handle. He might go to don't. So let him get hooked up. Let him enjoy.
Yeah.
To him enjoy. You are able to
and
every
then
day
you
beat
can
him
stroke him every day.
every day you can get him. And I was like, oh yeah. So it was really interesting, like cycle of life, I would say, like I tell,
Yeah.
life is a cycle, sometimes you never know where you are, sometimes you're
Yeah.
here, sometimes you're down here.
I like that.
And
Yeah. That's it.
yeah, but I
And
never become a bully, thanks God. We actually had to fight a lot on the street in Brazil too, especially when I was lucky, don't have no guns so much when I raised, and to even people believe in jiu-jitsu, because we used to have other martial arts like wrestling on the time, which was luta livre, and Muay Thai. People never believe in jiu-jitsu and say that they should go out and call us girls for being grabbing two men's and try
yeah.
to take advantage of our girlfriends. So was always a jiu-jitsu against, and we had that time actually in Brazil was really a big thing in Brazil on the TV. They used to call the Brazilian jiu-jitsu the pit bulls because they should not understand the pit bulls strike again, the pit bulls, or Brazilian the
Pit, as
jiu-jitsu
in pit
boys,
bull, like a
jiu-jitsu
dog, a
boy.
pit bull. Yeah, pit bull.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we should hold and grab
Yeah.
Yeah.
like jiu-jitsu, but that was the start of jiu-jitsu, if you read about how the Gracies they had like a lot of trouble to show the world that jiu-jitsu was effective, no, but to do that you had to fight, you had to go to places and challenge people
Mm.
and all those things, and we was the first generation of the Gracie sons, all the black belts, so I had as because we was all Gracie, the Gracie part of the Gracie crew from Rio de Janeiro used to come down to my city to party, to train. So every time they come down, they used to looking for who is the best boys in the city. We got that match at the gym. So then was Ryan Gracie, I don't know if you hear about him. He was the pit bull of the family. He died. He passed away very how I'm gonna say sad, but he was one of the best MMA fighters on the family. Ryan Gracie, and so they used to all the Nogueira brothers, all the MMA fighters, Spider, all those guys used to, because my city from Bia Island was very touristic, and people used to go there to New Year's or Christmas, or so they should come, and they still going there, and that's why sometimes you go there. It's the best fighters are doing seminars in there because they go for holidays, so they go and kind of it's kind of a little bit like I would say Sydney is a bit like that. You get all these world champions coming to do some seminars in here. We're pretty lucky actually to have those kind of guys crossing around here to us.
Absolutely.
Have you been back there much? Been back to Brazil a lot since
Oh,
you've been here?
every time I can. Since Corona, I've been back once. We was 3 years without go home, and then I was able to go last year in October. And if you ask me what I did, I trained nearly every day, sometimes twice a day. Because all my friends, everyone has a gym, and I was my wife actually allowed me to go without the kids and her, so I was able to focus my head in jiu-jitsu, see my mom, my sisters, my family, and train. So that's what
What's
home
it?
is for,
What's it like over there compared to Australia? The training, like the level.
The different, how I'm gonna say that there and they smash each other every day. It's no
Or harder
it's
all
not
day.
a nice training, these things. Oh, let's go nice, let's flow nice. You get in the mat, it's like someone wanna kill you. That's how you feel every day. You just oh my God, but make you humble, make you humble after a while, because you sometimes you think you're good and then you go there, all these kids just what happened, you know, and
Mm.
you do go well for 2 or 3, and then after the 4, you like, you might, oh my God, and they still train 10 minutes out, and I'm like, I
Mm.
say,
So you
what?
are you oh, if you don't mind me saying, so you've been doing jiu-jitsu since 92. So you like what, 40? Are you 40?
Yeah, 40, 42, 42.
42. So do
Yeah.
they take like still go just as hard even at 42 as if you were 22, or do they give you some respect that you're a bit older?
Oh, they give some respect because they know, like, I grew up in there. So I mean, like, but
I
then I
mean, for
got my
me, if
old.
I was to go there, would they still treat me
Nah,
the same?
nah, nah, nah. That's only for black. And I'm like,
No,
I
I'm a
actually
black
used to
belt.
be. No, no, but I mean, like, what I mean, like, I'm from there. I was one
Okay.
of the boys too. So they
Okay.
see me, and I used to always give them like hard times. So now, when they see me, they kind of like, oh,
Okay.
you now you
Payback.
here, huh? Come in
Yeah.
here, let's go
It's like
now.
when the
I
coach,
grow.
when your coach showed up, it's not
Yes,
like the
like
reverse,
a lot of
the cycle.
a lot of guys grow up. A lot of guys grow up a lot. They you know, even some guys then used to like, when I left there, like I was one of the first black belts. So we had people like starting as a white belt, blue belt, and they're still
Yeah.
there these days. So they're like, oh, you know. But
Yeah.
even like the old guys in there, they're just different. Like the food in there, I don't know. I feel like they just come after you with so much like.
Okay.
I think there's something in the water in Australia. We're too peaceful here. We can't be like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That they'll be more like, come in.
Yeah.
You drive on the street, people are like, well,
Yeah.
everyone's a bit more like
Aggressive.
on
Yeah.
the air in there, you know, the aggressive. Like here, Australia changed me a lot. You know, when I arrived here, I was so more intense, and now I'm like, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I think
I'm interested.
I'm domesticated. I'm domesticated now.
I'm
Yeah.
interested because, like, at the moment, I've asked 4 people, and you'll be the 4th. Is BJJ fighting, right? Because I'm a lot of people in a lot of MMA people think BJJ is not fighting. That's what I hear.
Oh,
But the thing is, sometimes it really is. Like, if you look at the history of BJJ, it's definitely fighting. You know, it's all about.
only fighting.
Yeah, but is it not fighting maybe in Australia? Is it not fighting only to an MMA person? Like when you go to a comp in Australia, right? And it's so in the civilized, more laid back, civilized is the wrong word, but you're saying Australia's like got less edge, right? So in the more downplayed Australian market for BJJ, is that not fighting?
No, I think people realize sooner or later how much we actually can fight, you know. And I learned jiu-jitsu to fight, to defend myself. Actually, that's how I approach jiu-jitsu, because I was like, I was actually arriving at the gym, another story, because in Brazil, like I say, people do fight there.
Yeah.
And sometimes you go, a kid in there, the bully is not like, you look, people punch in the face. That they
Yeah.
come, and if you look them in the eyes too much, they will come and punch you in the face. And that's what's a bully in Brazil. If someone, you ugly, people, even care about that thing anymore. But I mean, if you look to the kid and actually if you say to the kid, oh, your shoes, he'll come and punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll know. So
But if he punches you in the face, that's not fight. It's not using BJJ. Just like if a guy punches you in the face, are you going to use BJJ?
but I mean that's what I mean. So you need to learn something there, and people actually learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because they believe so much into the side of the history, especially in Brazil, because you see a lot of actually when you see people fight, like you see maybe you stop because you might be driving and somehow, or you might be walking somehow, a fight break up in this little restaurant in front of you, and these two guys rolling on the ground doing jiu-jitsu on the street and punching jiu-jitsu. And because before you used to see one guy, but now it's so popular, then it's not that thing you say, oh, you might find one guy in jiu-jitsu in one guy in the street and does jiu-jitsu, then in Brazil, now is you find 9 guys. And you don't mess with the little old man because he might know jiu-jitsu and he will he put you on your place.
Yeah.
And that's what we love. We see a lot of the WhatsApp and you see some videos. Or like we call like a middle-aged man stop a woman being stealing on the street, stealing the bag on the street and hold the thief in a hold choke in jiu-jitsu choke, and the guy, like you see a lot of stories, like a lot of like. So jiu-jitsu is fully to fight. I still teach my kids, especially my kids. I do put them in competition, but I want to make sure that they are safe if something happens. So I'm really into like, I know a lot of schools are not teaching self-defense. I teach punch and kick, and I teach everything. Then I have to know to if it's a fight break up, they will not pull guard, or they will not like wait for maybe they go onto the ground. They will actually take the kid down and use the jiu-jitsu. And like I say, I explain no arm bars in the street because, you can arm bar a kid and you're going to break the kid's arm. But, you can mount on the kid. You can hold the kid. You teach them to smack. Smack once, twice, that's it. Make the kid feel frustrated because frustration make people go away. Not pain. Pain make anger, So if you wanna, the less pain the kid feel, the less she's gonna come back after you, So make she frustrated. Hold her down, look her in the eyes, grinding. Next time
that's a good tagline, Anton, for the show.
Which one?
What was that you just, sorry, say it again? Like frustration makes the pain.
What
is that?
No, I think frustration make
Makes people
make
go
the
away.
bully go away. The pain make the bully come back. If the kids, if the bullies feel pain, it's same like I normally say to when I do seminars. If you go to like example, a guy come and steal a woman, right? And you go and punch the guy in the face and kick him right between the legs, and this guy gonna get angry. He gonna lose his mind, and he'll come back after you irrational, because when he actually come to attack you, he's afraid, but he's doing that because he's not like sick, I guess, So if you take him down, or if you hold him and you control and talk with him, and you go find someone else weaker, but he might that cross to his mind and he might leave you. But if you go and like pain makes people lose their mind. So frustration make people leave you. People.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. That's
So
a good
like
one.
I think I teach my kids that way, with that conception of life. You don't need to make your opponent feel pain. You just need to make him feel frustrated.
That's great. Tiago, we've only got a few minutes left, so just any last words, because this will just end. Otherwise, we just want to give you a bit of warning to wind it.
No, for sure.
Yeah, man. And by the way, your sharing today has been amazing. Like, it's been so good to learn about you and your life. Like,
and Brazil, and it's like a history lesson for us about jiu-jitsu in Brazil.
Trust me, I was a good. Like I say, I was lucky to be born with that age and grow up with raised with the Gracies and be able to share with you guys. That's why I think I choose jiu-jitsu. The Gracies teach me actually to take jiu-jitsu to people, because it will make a benefit for people. Jiu-jitsu changed lives, changed my life, changed many kids' life. I see my life, and that's why I choose this martial arts. And it's not about the money for me. It's about like actually affect people with my experience and my guidance and and that's why.
That's it. Yeah,
I
we
think
feel the same here, Anton, don't we? This is sort of why we're doing this podcast. Yeah, just
Absolutely.
to keep the
100%.
community together,
Yeah. Thank you.
sharing the
100%.
love.
That's amazing
When,
work.
yeah, and when you said it took people believing in jiu-jitsu before it got started, that really blew my mind. Like I never thought of a time where people had to
They
kind
doubted
of
it.
believe in, yeah, they
Oh,
doubted it.
trust me,
It's
they
like
should
such
be
a
like
crazy thought.
so critical, and like they should be. Was actually sad, but that's why I'm so, because I never thought I would be here today too. I did that for love, because I love, I love compete. I love like the adrenaline, and I think like nothing better than jiu-jitsu competition, always exposing yourself, and for me, life, I compete last 2 weeks ago. I won the Sydney Open.
Yeah.
Shark attack.
I,
That's right.
yeah, I like I say to my students, life is empty and poor if you don't have challenge, if you don't challenge yourself, if you don't looking for things, and you fall in habits, you falling into things that it's not good for you,
Wow.
and your best version of yourself is actually when you step in the mat. You feel ready, you feel like, man, I did the job. It's not even about win or lose anymore. It's about see the best version of yourself, and that's what the competition, I say to people, is for me. And anything, even challenge yourself with your own sometimes goals of like, I want to be here and work hard. I love the competition because I'm conditional like that, my mind. So when I got there, I know I cannot, I don't sleep well. I think if you have a good conscience, she'll make you a champion, So make sure
Awesome.
you're always in peace on your mind. You go to bed, you can put your, with not only what you do with the people around you, with your
Beautiful. Awesome.
karma,
Thanks,
you know.
Tiago. We're
Yeah.
going to get going. It's about to cut
No
off.
worries.
We will have this out in a couple of weeks. Thank you once again.
You're
And
welcome.
if you can share it on your social media, that would be
No, for
fantastic.
sure. So send me, I'll share
I'll
with
send the link.
everyone.
Yeah,
We
we'll
will.
send it
Sounds
through.
good.
Awesome.
Cheers, brother.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys.
Coming on.
Thanks again.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye-bye.